Everyone wants to make it to the top. Make it big. But to make it big, you've got to play big. Work with the best. And when we talk of the best, we are talking Mondelez. 2 years ago, I took part in Mondelez Maestros, a one-of-a-kind business case challenge where you solve a problem for the most well-known snacking brands in the world. I gave a solution and it worked. And guess what? Now I work here. This year, Mondelez Maestros is back with Season 3. Yet another exciting competition with submissions, evaluations, and consumer emotions. And my absolute favorite, being mentored by the best minds in the business. Oh, and did I mention? You get to roast the other team's ideas. This year, get a taste of sales strategy. And now it's your turn to make it big. But wait, why am I selling it to you? You were already sold when I said Mondelez, weren't you?
Okay, we're set. A very good evening and a very, very warm welcome to Mondelez Maestros Season 3. They say third time is the charm. So the third time we are doing it in person, but not only just in person, it's like you are playing a test match in Eden Gardens, you're going live across to all the campuses across the country. So that's where it is. My name is Abhishek, I'm your host for the evening. And when I'm not hosting shows, I'm also the Retail Environment Manager for Omnichannel for Mondelez. I have with me Aru, who is my co-host. Over to you.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Abhishek. I am Aru Goyal. I am a part of the people team and a management trainee of the 2022 cohort. So kind of sitting there not so long ago. Mondelez Maestros was conceptualized to tap into the minds of young and emerging leaders like yourself. The idea was to really create a platform which resonates with the student community, gives the students the resources to create something very unique and fascinating through the resources that we provide, which is consumer immersions and mentorships. And of course, to provide a platform that stays young, fresh, and relevant while we have a lot of fun. Now, we launched Mondelez Maestros in 2020 with just 7 select campuses. And I think it's fair to say that the idea that we had in mind was fairly contagious. The response was fabulous, and it gave us the confidence to expand to 20 campuses in 2021, and that was also a resounding success. This year, in our third season, we were once again blown away by the fabulous response that we received. Through our 21 participating campuses, we had over 6,000 registrations and thousands of submissions. So let's just have a round of applause for the way the Maestros is progressing. We are, of course, very grateful to all the students who've participated in this competition and made this competition much richer with their ideas. Your constant love over the years humbles us and motivates us to make this competition even bigger and better with every passing year. A huge and special shout out to all the students who've joined us today via YouTube and are streaming it live. To my YouTube folks, I'd especially like to say, do grab a Mondelez snack while you're watching and don't forget to cheer for your favorite campus team. And now to my finalists. It all boils down to the next 85 minutes where you will battle it out for a shot at pre-placement interviews and a cash prize of rupees 3.5 lakhs. Yes, you heard that right.
Can we get a cut?
But more than the cash prize, most importantly, for the bragging rights, for having fought and survived a fierce competition and an even fiercer grand roast. And I know, having been in campus, that these bragging rights go a long way. So make sure you give it your best. Now, before we go ahead and introduce our jury, there's someone very special that I'd like to invite on stage to share their thoughts on the inception of Maestros. Please join me in welcoming Andrea Kane, our Global Talent Acquisition Lead, who's traveled a very, very long way indeed to join us for this momentum occasion. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you. No, it's a pleasure to be here. I've heard so much about this event, and being present live in this experience is just fabulous.
Amazing. So, Andrea, I think our audience would really like to know what the core objective of Maestros is and where it really fits into our people and talent strategy at Mondelez.
Yeah. Mondelez Maestros is a key component of our employer branding strategy. And with this, it actually is a signature program across Mondelez and is replicated across the world. The second component is obviously that we want to nurture our leadership pipeline from this amazing up-and-coming talent, so that also in the future our Cadbury brands are not only marketed in a very creative way, but also sold with excellence. So I started more than 25 years as an intern, and many of the Indian leadership teams started as in this program. So looking forward to seeing one of you in the future being a very successful leader within Mondelez International.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Andrea. Can we have a huge round of applause?
Thanks. Thank you, Andrea. So without much further ado, let me introduce to you the esteemed jury for the day, right? Let me warn you that don't get deceived by their smiles and their charming demeanor. They have had a really tough week, and you are what is lying between them and really letting their hair down, right? So be prepped, right? First up, we have Desmond D'Souza, Sales Director, Mondelez India. Yeah. I'd clap harder if I were you. Yeah. Tejas Mehta, VP Finance, Mondelez India. Nitin Saini, VP Marketing, Mondelez India. Nagina Singh, Senior Director and People Lead, Mondelez India. And Sonali Mitra, Director Strategy for Mondelez India. All right, so over to the judges. A very warm welcome to all of you. How are you feeling about the finale? Like, are you as excited as those people out there are? Or are you as excited as they are anxious about today? Des, you want to go?
I'm not excited. Looking forward to seeing what they have to say.
Okay. Any specific expectations, Sonali, from the solutions that you're going to see today?
I think I'm just happy to be on this side of the table because the expectations are really heavyweight from the other side.
Yeah. And any last-minute advice for the finalists? Because you guys have seen such pressure situations in the past.
So would like them to be on top of their game completely. We'll be watching every minute.
Oh, okay.
No pressure at all.
No pressure at all. Yeah. So we'll get going, but before we do so, I'd like to welcome a very special set of people. We have with us today the architects of this year's challenge, right? The folks who conceptualized Maestros this year, right through the journey from setting up the challenge, the cases, to evaluation, so on and so forth. And they have had a pivotal role throughout the journey, right? So please welcome Siddharth Juneja, Head of Omnichannel Ecosystems, Yevgenia Krutko, Head of Omnichannel Ecosystems, Monoshish Bandyopadhyay, he's the Omnichannel Marketing Lead, Hardik Bhai Shah, Shopper Insights Lead, and Vidya Kailasam, our Consumer Digital Lead. So let me start by thanking all of you for making Maestros 2023 happen, right? You're all India leads for your individual functions, extremely busy, extremely entrenched in the most dynamic and the ever-changing part of the business, and yet you had the time and the patience to formulate, to read, to judge, to give inputs, and spent hours outside of your work to make this happen. So one more round of applause for them, yeah. And since you've been so closely involved, I'm sure that the students would want to hear from you. So I have a few questions from you to start. First question to Hardik Bhai. How would you say the Maestro's journey has been till now, right? From the first call to the grand finale here today.
Well, hi everyone. It has been a very exciting journey, Abhishek, right from conceptualizing the case and seeing a lot of these entries. Some of them really blew our minds. Some of them really blew our minds because in some they were very, very clear what they wanted to do. In some they wanted to do everything under the sun, right? So it was quite an interesting journey from thousands of cases to this 5 finalists. I am really excited, very attached to this now, and really excited to see how it goes and who comes out the winner.
Thanks. Next to Sid and Yev are Omni twins. So the difference this year was that for the first time we gave a sales-specific challenge to the teams. And then when I read through the challenge, I read through the case, I realized that this is quite a curveball. This is a difficult one, right? And it's very different from the usual coursework that the teams usually go through during their life inside the campus. So your thoughts on that and how that has come through in the submissions and your take on that?
Yep. So yeah, I agree. Maybe I'm from sales and I'm a little biased towards it, but I think sales cases tend to be a little tougher. They do require a little more understanding of the on-ground realities, operations, and a linearity in thinking, maybe more towards the science side. So yes, I do think it was a little tougher, intentionally so, if I may add. Let me just say, going through the submissions was fun. Some of them really, really, really fun. And that's just where I'll leave it. Over to you, Yev.
So as Siddharth said, in some cases we did have a little bit too much fun. We were also trying to see, is this case a little bit different from what the students tend to experience on campus? And hopefully it was different, because I guess most of the coursework culminates in something very singular, focused on one subject. What we try to do is to make sure that the case covers multiple subjects, makes you think about multiple points, and then comes together, hopefully, in a very good answer.
Lovely. Thanks, Yev. Vidya, over to you. Any recurrent themes that you saw, that you experienced in the submissions that came through?
Well, I had to Google for a lot of terminologies that people used. Because what we thought was omni-channel turned out to be everything from direct to consumer to metaverse to AR, VR to, and then, I had to sort of circle back and check with folks whether this is what we wanted. However, I'm happy to share that, out of the finalists that we chose, our attempt was to sort of get to a set of teams that had covered most of the aspects of what we wanted to do as far as omni-channel is concerned. But what really blew my mind was the sheer expanse of terminologies and concepts that were thrown at me. I had to really, really understand how that was. So great learning experience for me.
Thanks, Vidya. And the last one to Mono. Your key takeaways from all the cases and where your expectations met.
I think there's a lot of diligence, passion, and anxiety before the roast, which we see every year, and I think it's also there this year as well. But I think one key takeaway is the extent of interest and participation we saw this time. So I think we received more than 50% entries versus last year. So quite happy to see the overwhelming response and the way Mondelez Maestros is getting more popular every year. And expectation, again, I think all the best to the 5 teams. You have made it this far, and do your best. And it's a hard jury to please. So yeah, give your best.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. All of you, you are amazing. Over to you, Aru.
Thank you, Abhishek. All right, so we'll now move on to the part which I want all of the finalists to pay very close attention to, the rules and our scoring scheme. So, in terms of the rules, all questions, opinions, and comments are to be restricted to the ideas present. So, personal attacks are a strict no-no, and we will be keeping check of that. All conversations should be parliamentary in language, and I do not mean the Indian Parliament, the parliamentary textbook definition. Constructive criticism is allowed, but personal attacks are a big no-no. Please make sure that once you have your turn for speaking, do not speak out of turn. The format, I'll explain the format of the session to you. So each team will be given 7 minutes to present their pitch, after which you will be given 3 minutes for the shallow roast, which is where all of the other teams can question that team on their pitch. Once the 3 minutes are over, we will have our deep roast, which is where the grand jury will question the team on the pitch that they've just presented. Now, I want the teams to note that at the 6th minute, a warning bell will ring, which is a sign for you to start concluding your presentation. At the 7th minute, the final bell will ring, and that will be a hard stop on your time. For the roasting by the teams, a buzzer at the 3rd minute will ring, after which no more questions can be asked to the team, and we will straight away go to the deep roast with the grand jury. Now, these are our evaluation parameters on which you will be judged. First is relevance, whether the idea enables Mondelez to enable a benefit to the customers and the consumers. Second is scalability, whether the idea presents itself of being scalable across channels and interfaces. The third is distinctive advantage, which is what we gave to you in the first brief as well, which is, will this idea help position Mondelez very uniquely, or is it something that can be easily replicated by other brands? Fourth is the clarity of concept behind the idea, so make sure you're articulating that very well when you're presenting your pitch. And last but not the least is the presentation to the jury and your performance in the grand roast. So with that, I'll hand it over to Abhishek to welcome our first team.
Yeah, before we start, once again, I'd like to ask everyone joining us on YouTube Live to keep the chat section super active. Please keep showing us your love, your enthusiasm, your thoughts, the emojis, and everything else that's available on YouTube into the chat section. We have Apurva, who is monitoring the chat for us. She's our online roast master. And if your questions are spicy enough, we're going to pull it out from the chat and throw it out to the teams. So pay attention and keep the heat up on the teams. But remember, the questions are to be directed to the idea and not the people. Okay? So we're ready? Let's get into the pitches. Okay. Can we have the first team up on the stage, please? Team Salty Caramel from SP Jain. Go on. Acha, they're standing here, is it? Okay. I'm going to relocate myself. Okay, so before we get started, a little bit of warm-up. How are you feeling? Hot under the collar?
Pretty calm.
Okay. Oh, nice. So, question for you. Would you rather be an average superhero or an excellent villain? And which one?
Right. Ishika, you want to take that up?
You're out of time, guys.
I think we would choose being an excellent villain because being a villain or hero is very subjective. You can be hero in someone's story and villain in someone else's.
Yeah.
So we would be excellent and do our thing.
Quite meta. Okay, so let's get started. Yep, go for it.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are Team Salty Caramel from SPJMR, and here's our take on how Mondelez India can develop long-term distinctive capabilities to enable acceleration of omnichannel growth. The capability areas we've chosen for the same are dedicated assortment and data and digital. In order to decode the problem, we decided to look at the current industry scenario. First is the changing competitive landscape. As per a TechC report, due to emergence of brands, there has been a 10% increase in customer churn rate post-pandemic. Secondly, 71% consumers expect companies to offer personalized interactions, and D2C brands such as The Whole Truth, Urban Platter, and many more are doing just that by leveraging direct consumer data. Thirdly, with probable time restriction on advertising of HFSS products, there is a pressing need for D2C communication. Lastly, with the industry race to achieve higher digital maturity, investing in omnichannel intricacies will help us maneuver the 0 or 100 data game. Believe it or not, omnichannel is today's reality. While giving a consistent brand experience will become a point of parity, leveraging first-party data will be the key to offer a point of differentiation. So the question is, how do we address this gap?
Talking to 20 plus consumers, we had top 3 takeaways. They enjoy the experience shopping offline, find ways to get offers on products online, and are always on the lookout to save more on regular purchases. However, existing loyalty programs are not accessible across channels, and there is a lack of personalized engagement activities for rewards. To dive deep into brand-consumer interaction, we conducted a cognitive psychology experiment with the objective to test memory and recall of uniform and non-uniform setups, and we found that 80% of our consumers recalled at least 2 groups from the uniform category out of the 3. 100% of the consumers interviewed at the Purple Room and other shops instantly mentioned Cadbury when asked for a brand associated with the color purple. This has formed the basis of our approach.
Presenting to you our big idea, the Purple Corner. The Purple Corner aims to drive consumer expectations and shape consumer behavior with a one-stop shop for all Mondelez products by offering a consistent brand experience and a rewarding loyalty program. We plan to do this in 2 parts. First is to drive consumer expectations by visually marking Mondelez's space. In offline commerce, we will have a dedicated assortment of all our products in modern trade stores to deliver the experience of entering into the purple world of snacks. This would be coupled with engagement features such as gaming zones and LED setups. In online commerce, we will have virtual purple corners within the online partners ecosystem such as Swiggy, Instamart, or Zepto in the form of clickable banner ads that will lead you to our brand store. Here are the expected returns for our 3 major stakeholders. A consistent brand experience for consumers leading to a higher brand recall. From that, we can expect a higher basket size, improved customer retention, and access to aggregate level data. And our partners would benefit from margins earned on higher overall sales.
In part 2, we plan to drive consumer behavior of buying Mondelez products through an omni-channel loyalty program. To do this, we propose the Purple Corner app as Mondelez's brand asset and the Purple Card Rewards as one of the first omni-channel loyalty program. The mechanics of the loyalty program would be as follows. Consumers would scan the QR code inside the product packaging and collect points on every new purchase. Additionally, they can also collect points on engaging with existing Mondelez platforms such as Playpad, Tayari Jeet Ki, and so on. Customers will be able to redeem their loyalty points online through coupons and discount codes, and offline through retailers who'd use the Channel Card app. Now, let's look at the customer journey in the Purple Corner. Let's look at the expected returns now. Strengthening our brand connect by incentivizing loyalty, which would lead to an increase in customer lifetime value, give us a distinct competitive advantage, and most importantly, access to first-party data. These FPDs will be leveraged in our new product development strategy, increase the effectiveness of paid media strategy, data enrichment, and be a point of feedback for long-term growth.
We plan to implement the same in 3 stages. Phase 1 would include market research to identify potential partners, followed by the Purple Corner app development, and finally, the launch of the pilot project in Bangalore for a span of 6 months. Based on our learnings, we would scale it up to Tier 1 and metro cities for offline Purple Corners in Phase 2, and a pan-India launch of the online Purple Corner app with the loyalty program. Additionally, we would also use this phase to run a pilot program for our existing retailers in Tier 2 plus cities for loyalty points redemption. In Phase 3, we plan to extend the entire Purple Corner ecosystem to Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. This is the detailed plan for the same. As you can see, in every stage, we would get access to first-party data, which will be used for 4 major things. First would be audience definition, lifecycle marketing, personalization engine, and advanced cross-channel lead management.
Here's a marketing strategy for the Purple Corner ecosystem. The offline and online setups in partnership with these stores would primarily create awareness and generate interest. To move down the funnel to desire and action stages, we have the Purple Corner app with the value proposition of snack, share, and earn. Multiple combinations of customer journey can take place given this is omni-channel. However, the end goal remains the collection of first-party data through the Purple Corner app. Our marketing campaign would revolve around wo Purple wali feeling. This would include on-ground launch events and digital campaigns for community building for all consumer groups. Few ideas are: show your purple gift, share your purple tip of the day, and don your purple baking hat.
Let's take a look at the financial viability of the idea. To do the same, we compared the as-is revenue growth with the proposed revenue growth, and here are the outcomes. We plan to achieve an incremental revenue of close to 1,700 crores within 3 years of implementation. This would cost us rupees 125 crores over 3 years, essentially giving us a return on investment of 12.5x. We also estimate to collect 1.5 crore FPD per year post-launch at a CAC for FPD of rupees 28. Moving on to the road ahead, we plan to foray into the metaverse by using NFTs as a loyalty currency, and we also aim to propose customer lifetime value as a measure to analyze the effectiveness of first-party data.
Mondelez's vision for 2030 includes growth, execution, culture, plus sustainability. With the Purple Corner app, we will be able to make an impact in all these realms.
Done.
Thank you.
We'll start the shallow roast. Can we have a mic around, please? Guys, who's managing?
Hi team. So I just wanted to know that you talked about a chocolate section, a purple section, which will be present in a modern trade store. But from my knowledge, real estate is very scarce in modern trade. So how would you go ahead and convince the modern trade holders like Reliance to give you an entire space? And yeah, how do you penetrate deeper into this?
So in modern trade stores, we propose to onboard the partners by telling them how having purple corners would increase their footfall per square feet as well. Because even when we went to the purple room in Fresh Pick in Geo World Drive, we realized that a lot of people had come into Fresh Pick for purple room. So that can lead to increased sales for the modern trade person as well.
Hi team. So my question is that would a loyalty program really work for such a low involvement product like a chocolate where switching costs are actually quite minimal? So do you think that customers would actually stick to your loyalty program, and is there any research evidence that you've conducted to support that?
Right. So when we did our research on loyalty programs, these are one of the ways that you can win the omni-channel game. You rightly mentioned that there are switching costs that they're there. But Mondelez is anyways the category leader when it comes to India in the snacking industry. So we have that brand presence already. So loyalty program, even through our primary research, we came to know people would look forward to it because it's a regular purchase. And the same has been proven through Starbucks loyalty program and many others.
Yeah, just one more question here. So you talked about a D2C platform. So how would the supply chain look like, and what would be the delivery time? Because chocolate in itself is a very indulgent and instant gratification thing.
So just to clarify, we did not propose a D2C platform. What we proposed was getting all the existing Mondelez platforms onto the app. So you would essentially be ordering through your modern trade stores or through the quick commerce apps that are there. All you would do through the app would be to redeem the points and collect them and share and own your snacking experience. So it is not going to be a D2C platform.
Understood. And just one more follow-up question here. So why would sites like Q-commerce apps like Blinkit or e-commerce be willing to share their data with you guys?
So the first part of the problem was the dedicated assortment, in which, as we mentioned, we look to get aggregate level data. However, through the Purple Corner app, which was our eventual goal, we would be able to collect first-party data. So we're not getting data from them more than aggregate level, but rather looking at FPD through our own Purple Corner app.
Thank you. Thank you.
One question that wouldn't be a conflict of interest if you are creating a Purple Corner section in Zepto and Blinkit and then eventually driving your sales to the first party data app to your Purple Corner. Wouldn't that be a conflict of interest with your channel partners?
Again, reiterating what should I answer the question? Yeah, okay. Reiterating what I had mentioned earlier, we would not be selling through a platform, but rather offering them loyalty points through the platform, which can be redeemed as coupons that can be used in the quick commerce sites, that is Swiggy and Zepto, Instamart, etc. So essentially, you would be looking to increase their sales and their overall margins as well through their own platforms. So that is something we believe that customers would want to sign up for and would also benefit platforms.
Lovely. We'll start the grand roast now. Over to the jury members.
Okay. My question is, what is the incentive for somebody to download the app? That wasn't clear at all. So if you can help.
So when we talk about downloading the app, it's about the value that we end up giving to the customers. Given the large customer base that we have and the loyalty program that we are offering to our customers, the loyalty program and the reward points that you earn on your regular purchase becomes the incentive to download the app.
Okay, firstly, compliments on your creativity. You visited the purple room and you named yourself Purple Corner, right? Excellent. Good. Help me understand. You said 3 years, 1700 crore business. It's like adding 2-3 some of the smaller chocolate companies that are there right now. Yeah. So help me understand the maths behind it.
Sure, sir. So even during our research, we came across a BCG into Google report on marketing strategies, which looked at how we can leverage first-party data. So as I mentioned, there were 4 parameters which enable companies to become digitally mature. And the findings of the research in Asia-Pacific regions for such companies stated that by implementing those 4 digital maturity techniques, such as audience definition, lifecycle marketing, etc., you would look at a revenue upliftment of anywhere between 1.5x to 2.9x. And that is the figure we've chosen to look at our growth over the years. As we had mentioned in the implementation plan, we calculated the same over a stepwise approach in phase 2, looking at only metro and tier 1 cities, and in the final phase, looking at tier 2 and tier 3 cities as well. And we took the as-is proposed CAGRs of the 3 segments, which are the digital, modern trade, as well as traditional, and increased the CAGR by 1.5 times, which is the least amount of growth that we can expect to come at our 1700 crore incremental revenue.
Got it. So if you win it and if you join Mondelez, we'll give this as the first project with 1700 crores target for you for sure. Okay. Quickly help me understand. You will have one purple corner in modern trade. Coke will come and say, I'll also do some red room. So they'll have a red room inside modern trade. Maggie will say yellow corner. So you'll have purple, red, yellow, all colors inside the... What will they shop? How will the consumer shop inside?
So when you said Coke, the way consumers are relating brands to colors is very different. Mondelez has made purple its benchmark, but that's not the case with almost every brand. And that is what we also got to know through our cognitive psychology experiment.
Coke red is not established?
So at least when we talk about Coke, maybe that's not the first color that comes to your mind. But when it comes to Mondelez, that is what emerged in our primary research. Plus, we will be the first movers. So that would give us the first mover advantage.
Got it. So you're saying nobody else can do it apart from Mondelez, Cadbury's?
So they can definitely do it, but we believe that being the first movers, we will be able to gain the market share.
Okay, just a self-awareness check for you guys. If I were to ask you to rank yourself on a 10-point scale on innovation, what would you rank yourselves on?
So we would like to rank ourselves 7 out of 10. The reasoning behind it being that although the idea is very simple and basic, the thought that's gone into it and the research that we've done and the evidences that we've got, even given what Mondelez has done by, they even tried to make purple their proprietary color at some point of time, but that wasn't successful. So Mondelez has attempted the same. So even though being a basic idea, the implementation and the research that has gone into the same is why I would rate ourselves.
So don't tell me why it's 7. Tell me where do you lose the 3 points?
Right. Now, so we did look at the challenges that we would encounter in this phase. One was definitely onboarding partners, both online and offline, onto our system. And as Sir had correctly mentioned, other companies can also come up and do the same. So that was the first channel that we looked at. Second would be onboarding of retailers themselves, our existing retailers. Somewhere they might feel that they are being left out. However, given that we would be incentivizing them also to a certain extent and maybe adding it onto their KPIs, if they promote the loyalty program, we aim to get them on board.
Thanks. Maybe a quick question from my end. Which color would you associate Oreo with?
Right, ma'am. So even if you look at the Oreo packaging, it's essentially a bluish purple color that's there. But given the larger scheme of things, most of the brands that are there under Mondelez in India have a purple ring to it. And even if you look at this room around here, there's a lot of purple elements that are there on stage here itself. So it's definitely a color that Mondelez has chosen.
That's like any brand color. Ma'am, when we, again, going back to the purple room, since there's purple around, It's Cadbury Oreo, and Cadbury is purple.
One question from my side, a little bit like what Desmond said. I mean, 1700 crores, guys. I mean, come and join us very quickly. And even if you do half of that in 3 years, we'll give you a golden award. Right? But more importantly, right, I think the question was also how to make a win-win. Assume for a minute we do the 1700 crores. What I didn't get is how much will be the margin impact to Mondelez. I did not hear anywhere what does modern trade and Omni do to margin for India. And if it does, like what you have grown, pressure in your comment.
If I'm not wrong, they said 2 billion by 2030. So good luck, Tejas.
Oh, no, very good.
So regarding the 2 billion aspect, first I'd like to address that point. We read a report by in which there was a Mondelez, I believe Mondelez CEO himself was quoted saying that Mondelez India achieves to reach the $2 billion business in India by 2030. So we quoted the same looking at what we've given, and the incremental revenue that we mentioned, essentially it would increase our percentage of target per year from 92% for ASUS figures to 97%. And by the 5th year, we aim to achieve 100% of our targets and be on track for the $2 billion business in India.
By 2030.
By 2030.
Yes.
And adding to the first point that you mentioned, sir, given how we're going to address the margins, while we didn't deep dive into how we'll be splitting the margins across the different platforms, what we did find that the returns that we're expecting across channels is much more than the amount of investments that would be required, even if we end up incentivizing the stores. So given that we have an ROI of 12.5x, that would help us and also the modern trade stores, our partners, as well as online commerce stores to increase their sales in return, hence creating a win-win situation for them.
And so just wanted to add this point that the competitive advantage for Mondelez as seen from the outside world is the direct distribution network that it holds. So there's a strong part there which we want to leverage.
Okay. But we are talking modern trade and omni, not direct trade, reach and traditional trade, which we are also very strong at. But you mean the modern trade and omni only?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You also mentioned 1.25 crore FPD, right?
Yes, sir.
Explain the maths.
Sure. So can I just quickly go back to the slide? I can take you through it. No, we'll have to change it from there.
You want the appendix or the slide?
So essentially, we just to summarize before the slide comes up, we looked at the average 3-year revenue, which was around 10,000 crores per year that we're looking at in India. We looked at the frequency of purchase in the country, the average basket size at rupees 30. And we, if the consumers end up buying once per year, would be an assumption, then we would look at 363 crores of orders of SKUs being placed, divided by the frequency of purchase, landed us with that figure. So as you can see here, our total revenue was there, and assuming a QR code success rate of 5%, from our research we found that that can vary anywhere between 2 to 40%, but given that we are a low ticket size and the network, we've considered a 5% success rate for the same. The average, dividing the total revenue by the average basket value, we got the number of SKUs sold, which is 363 crores, and then dividing that by 12 further over a period of year, given that a particular consumer would purchase a product 12 times a year, so essentially the number of unique Mondelez customers would be 30.3 crores. 5% of that gives us 1.5 crores. So this is what we're proposing post completion of the 3 years of implementation, where we were able to address the entire audience. And we've also calculated the CAC for FPD, if I may go further. We tried to get any comparable figures for the same, but we did not find any benchmark figure in terms of customer acquisition cost of the first party data. So this was our attempt at calculating the same.
Since we'll be the first movers.
Sorry, so this modern trade is giving you the most incremental revenue, right?
Yes, sir.
1,100 crores. So what is the math there?
If you look at the ASUS revenues, so firstly, modern trade contributes to 17% of the sales, and that is expected to grow at a CAGR of 16%.
How is this purple corner giving you this additional? I understand the math. Why?
So as we've mentioned here,
I think the team has been grilled enough, and we are exceeding
Can I ask one more question? This as is growth of 10, 33, 16, especially interested in the traditional trade too, though not part of here. How did you get that number? And how does purple corner in modern trade change your traditional trade growth?
Right, sir. So it's about offering a consistent brand experience across all platforms, be it offline or online, which is the essence of omni-channel. So even though we might not impact traditional trade directly, given that they would be able to we will be able to offer the experience of a loyalty program which can be redeemed from traditional trade stores as well. That would lead to an increase for the traditional trade stores themselves. And with respect to the figures of CAGR, they were given to us in the report, in the case itself, that these are the expected CAGRs of the industries over 10 years.
Your loyalty program will also work in traditional trade stores?
Yes, sir. So we plan to onboard existing retailers onto our network through the Channel Cart app by year 3, and we can use that as a platform for loyalty points redemption from the back end.
And so it would just end up coming to the first party data that we collect, which can be used for new product development, effectiveness of paid media strategy, and hence we have used the Google into BCG report numbers that we have.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I think it would suffice to say that our jury members like their steaks very well done. So welcome the next team onto the dais, please. Team Solution Squad. Again, very innovative name. All right, quick one.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, you guys are ready?
Yes.
Go for it.
Okay. So good afternoon to one and all present here. So we Team Solution Squad from I am Kashipur. So next. So as we see that the FMCG boom has been really high over the past decade, it is a result of Flipkart, Amazon being the pioneer. So we can see that as per the boom, the e-tail market has been growing, and it is expected to grow over 30% over the next few years. It has already grown by 25%, and it has already generated a revenue of $38 billion. So we can see that there are other trends in omni-channels as well. So as the problem statement is itself regarding the omni-channel. So coming to the consumer immersion, we have understood that the purchasing power of the consumers have increased. So they are very convenient going for online as well as offline. They are very convenient while comparing the prices on online mode as well as for brick and mortar stages. So they see that how convenient it is and what profitability it gives, even comparing with the discounts and other leverages that we can offer to them. So we can also see that the trends and recommendations that for all these companies, we could understand that all the companies are more or less on the same page coming to the fast delivery that is onto the next revolution in this sector, coming to 10 minutes delivery or 15 minutes delivery like Zepto and Dunzo. So the main differentiation could be the product packaging for online market consumers and for the offline consumers as well. So offering discounts as well, so the bulk purchase increases. This also we understood as per the consumer immersion that we took interview with. So the main thing that the idea revolves for us is the vending machine market. So we also know that My Nestle is one of the vending machine that the competitor uses. There are other vending machine providers like Dalchini in India and Wendigo. Coming to like the capacity is around about 200 to 300 SKUs, consuming 100 to 130 electricity units. So the average increase or growth is expected to be 15% over the next few years to 17% also, as the Dalchini and other companies have started generating revenue, because this is more convenient for the office spaces as well as for the railways, airports and colleges as well.
Through our offering, we expect to target the customers aged between 16 to 26 years old who love to try new things. And the two major pain points that we want to overcome through this is one for Mondelez to be able to interact with their offline customers, and two, for the customer to be introduced to new channels. Next slide. Yes. So we want to give a new offering, that is a digital vending machine with the support of two apps, the Mondelez Super app as well as the Mondelez. So first, with the Mondelez Super app, the customer can the customer journey would be as follows. First, the customer opens the app, scans the QR code from the vending machine, selects the product he'd like to purchase, and make the payment through his preferred payment mode. From the purchase, he would get reward points, which he can use for any online on any online Mondelez products, and also he would get rewards through through gamification. Without the Mondelez app, the customer would scan the QR code, directly go to the website, select the product, and make payment.
Okay. So our focus is on sustainable growth, taking one step at a time. So we kept our target audience very niche. We wanted our target to have a habit formation. Whenever students are buying, in our primary research, we have seen that digital vending machines in colleges have been growing, and so we wanted to make it a digital form to make it more interesting. So we want to create a habit among our target audience by giving coupons and rewards whenever they make purchases, not on the vending machines and also in other platforms as well. Whenever they go to Flipkart or maybe Amazon, they will be tempted to buy a Mondelez product because they will have a coupon given from the vending machine. So just like we took the big chunk of the digi coolers in India, it's time to take some from $1 billion vending machine business. So in our primary research, we have also found that the normal vending machines are very boring. So we make it more interesting. We and kept it digital, which we can do customer engagement, hyper local advertising, and how excited will you be when when your birthday poster is displayed in your college vending machine? So why this app? So okay. So with this app, we can cross-sell our other products, which is Joy Deliveries, because whenever they will keep purchasing on vending machines, they can redeem those coupons in online channels as well as Joy Deliveries and other products. So keep on our collecting rewards. Encourage people to add Mondelez product while purchasing online platforms. Product sticky, to make it make this app more sticky, we'll also add gamification.
So we estimated the cost of implementation for the first 50 digital fridges and 50 vending machines as around 65 lakh plus 25,000 per month. And also considering average order size of 50 and 200 visits for each vending machine, we are expecting a total of 3,40,000 revenues. Also, when on the digital cooler, when the purchase is made from the store, the retailer will also be incentivized, which has been shown in the table given below. Next slide. Also, by year 4, we will, by increasing our vending machines by 50 each, we'll be expecting
Guys, we'll
20
move on
plus
to the shallow rows, please.
profits.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we have a mic there, please?
Hi, Ishika from SPJMR. Just wanted to know that you mentioned vending machines. How are they going to give us a distinctive advantage in omni-channel?
Okay, so just like we have our strength is on digi coolers. We have a expert in. We have strength in our digi coolers. We have experts in digi coolers. So in the same way, we can also leverage that our expertise in vending machines as well. So why vending machines? Because we can also put in our products on other vending machines, but we will not get customer data, customer engagement, because vending machine business will be very big in the coming years. So we want to have our own vending machine change, but it won't be owned by us. It will be managed by us. The media platform, media rights will be us, but the whole maintenance, right from maintenance, everything will be done by third party.
Point taken, but how is this omni-channel? Just wanted to understand
Okay,
that.
so whenever they buy from our vending machines, they will be rewarded. Every time they make purchases, they will be rewarded, and those rewards can be redeemed in online channels. Those discounted can be redeemed in Flipkart or Zepto.
I think one advantage that this vending machine has is that it plays ads also, thus increasing sales by attracting the customer, as well as it can take customer data through surveys. So these are the 2 points that we included so that we can get data from offline customers as well as increase sales.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Hi, Utkarsh from SIBM, and I just wanted to know that most of the places where I have seen vending machines, they are corporates and apartment buildings, and they have BB Instant and Dalchini because they can keep multiple SKUs. And you will have to take the permission of these places to place your Cadbury vending machines. I would want to ask that why would they allow Cadbury to take so much space when, again, it is limited?
So our initial implementation plan is to implement it in colleges where there are students of more than 1,000 or 2,000. So basically we will, even if we get 10% of students every day, we will be able to manage the vending machine profitably. And I think again, we will have a first mover advantage because not in many colleges there are exclusive vending machines only for one company. So.
Yeah. I think that the reason for that being that whenever customer is going to shop, he would want multiple options which he can buy.
Right.
He might not just buy chocolate, he might also want Mink, and that is where BB Instant comes in.
Right.
So
the point with
why
this
would they-
is to make this exclusively for Mondelez and increase its branding. We can put Mondelez products in mixed vending machines. That is also an option.
Thank you, guys. Over to the jury members for the grand roast.
Okay, so help your entire idea is hinging on the fact that vending machines are going to be big in the next few years.
Yes, sir.
What tells you that? Why are you saying that?
Okay. Sir, during our primary research, we have, because our focus is only colleges, so we have done a primary research that the average purchase was 50 rupees, and we have seen increase in the number of people. People who are staying in hostels, who are in hostels, the number of, they have recently started the vending machines in the colleges, and they have seen a huge number of people coming in the vending machines and buying late night snacks as well.
Just to add to his point, I think people find interactive a little more burdensome these days. So there is less interaction, and also it can be open 24/7. So I think vending machines.
Ma'am, the number of, first of all, the primary research, we took it from a few colleges, which is MIT University in Noida, Delhi, and Royal Global in Guwahati. And after that, we have seen the secondary data that vending machines companies are also increasing, they are also increasing their revenue. Some companies are also making profit. So this is our primary and secondary data. This is how we can conclude that vending machines business will be big.
So vending machines has been there for the last 30 years or more in this world. India has had it for the last 15 years.
Sure.
But you've not seen a proliferation of vending machines. Have you tried to understand why vending machines are not so popular yet?
Okay. You want to answer?
Sir, because I would like to say that whenever the vending machines are there, take it to be, it started with railways dispatching bottles, or take it to be the airports. There was an hustle and bustle, the people couldn't get the clarity of, you need to put the coin and get the change and everything. So this is the reason we can say that everything has gone digital. So this is one of the reasons that we see that we expect there will be a boom, and we have seen this example live when we were traveling from Delhi to Mumbai, that the vending machines were particularly used by people. Even the other people on the airports were helping the customers to use it and understand it. So obviously the consumer behavior is gonna change with the coming times, and this will be the future for purchase for the people for our target segment.
Also, sir, people have also options because we have largest number of mom and pop stores. If not vending machines, I will go into our nearest mom and pop stores to buy a product. So that's why our focus is not on normal stores. We want to focus on only on institutions.
So just going back to your research bit, so is there any research that you've gathered on the market share of, say, vending machines going up? And are they vending machines which are homogeneous or heterogeneous? Is there any data that you have? Because what you're proposing is, dedicated vending machine for Mondelez, right? So is there any data that you've gathered before you've arrived at a hypothesis of sorts?
Ma'am, can you repeat your questions again?
So my question is that you talked about your primary and your secondary market data. And the secondary market data was that vending machines are increasing and vending machine owners are profitable. But have you gone a step below to figure out, are those vending machines homogeneous, which is, are they selling only one brand and one company product, or are they heterogeneous, which is they're selling namkeen, they're selling snacks, they're selling water bottles, they're selling Pepsi. Okay. Have you got any research? Because what you're proposing is, then the success or the failure of that can be linked to this data.
Okay. So, ma'am, most of the brands are only selling their different products. because they want revenue, so they have more brands with them. But we propose only Mondelez product because so that we can get the customer data, and the whole unit is owned by us.
One more thing to ensure success, what we can do is put fast-moving products into the vending machine, which will ensure us sales instead of just anything. So
I'm curious to know how you're also addressing scalability. So you're basically going after the persona, right? And what if COVID part 2 comes up next year and colleges shut down? Then how do you see your business panning out?
Okay, ma'am. Okay. So in that case, ma'am, we'll work on our app, which is Mondelez app, where we have plans for competitions and other reward programs, where we can make this app successful, and slowly it will grow. But vending machine was our major chunk of our revenue was focused on vending machine, ma'am.
Ma'am, actually we initiated with colleges because we wanted to target that particular target segment first. But the scalability would be to also introduce in public spaces like airports, railway stations, which are which have high traffic. So I think not just.
Ma'am, adding to your point, your question was for COVID, right? So if we use it at hospital, it could be a boon for other customers and the patients as well who would like to, munch it at the moment and use it on a digital platform as well, because that they are in a very stressed environment at that moment, so they are out of food and everything. So if they want to munch anything, they can just take it and purchase it. So of course down the line we will start with colleges, railways and everything, but of course hospitals and everything could be the target segments as well.
I think then I go back to maybe a friend of mine asked the question before, right? Why would they live out? Space is rich, space is key, right? So be it digital space or real estate, and at what cost to us, right? So that's a little bit of the question.
Ma'am, you're asking about in the retail store?
I'm saying all other stores, there is a
others?
reason for why it's not easily done. I mean, why would anybody else not be? I think we had that discussion question also earlier, right? So there is a reason for why we are not able to put up several of these, either a cost or scalability. So I'm just wondering how you would address it, because that's the merit of Omni and broadening your universe, right?
Ma'am, our goal is not to go to the retail stores because they won't give us the space, especially the ad space. So that's why our focus is on other platforms and not on retail stores.
So one question from my side, right? I think you've been, we all lived in colleges, we've been to train stations, and vending machines has been there forever. You have not seen a Cadbury dedicated or Pepsi dedicated vending machine. What's your hypothesis why it is not there? I mean, somebody would have thought of this. So what is your hypothesis of why we don't see 20,000 vending machines today? And what's your hypothesis of what you are proposing is different to change the dynamics?
So actually, we have seen a Coca-Cola vending machine recently, and it contained Coca-Cola products along with the water bottles and also some other essentials. So I think if we can decide what relevant products we want to put along with our products, I think it could add in a positive way to our business in the vending machine. So
coming to your question, like you said that in railways people don't buy, or it has been for all these years, this product, but already there are many stores on railways and everything, so people have the capability of buying it via cash. So the cash circulation is high in Indian economy, as we know, but post 2017 there has been a boom, so people have started doing UPI. There has been a rise in UPI, and still it is globally acclaimed. So this is the reason that we firmly believe that it will be changing in the future.
Okay, thank you guys, thank you. Just please don't break our vending machine on the way. Okay, next team is Team Nauticals. Okay, thank you. Okay guys, if you're ready, over to you, all yours.
A very good evening to one and all. I am Nandini.
I'm Aniket. And I'm Utkarsh, and we are Team Nautical from SIBM Pune. And today we are here to build an omni-channel moat using data, modern trade, and Q-commerce as the pillars.
A good solution is one which comes from the masses, and that is why we have conducted a multi-dimensional primary and secondary research. For Mondelez Maestros, we are pitching in 4 ideas. Aniket, how do you choose where to sell or market your products?
I generally look for channels where my customers are present.
Alright, so an average Indian spends 4.9 hours daily on their mobile phones, and that is where we want to interact with them to collect data and leverage it. This brings us to our first idea, which is the Mondelez Madhouse app, an interactive one.
Okay, Nandini. So have you been to a shop and where the shopkeepers offer you a toffee or a 2 instead of change before UPI?
Yes, I would like to get 3 to 5 rupees coins, but not more than that, of course. And the best thing would be if I get to choose my favorite candy there.
This brings us to our second idea, where we are trying to replicate the toffee economy to help our retailer as well as customer through rounding off. In these stressful times, our third idea is to target the need for love and belonging of our customers and give them a chance to pamper themselves. Our fourth idea is to target the latent secondary needs of our customers by targeting Mondelez products as complementers so that we can drive secondary sales as well.
So data insights are extremely crucial for providing a better omni-channel experience to the customers, and thus we propose the Mondelez Madhouse app, which is an engaging, interactive, and a rewarding platform for our target customers. But how will this app work? So there will be a QR code present on the packaging of our products, which will lead the customer to download and register on the app. And once he gets on the app, there will be a Mondelez membership club, which will be rewarding the frequently scanning customers, and it would be providing monthly discount coupons. Secondly, there will be a game called Choco Chase, an endless running game, which will have rare avatars and personalized avatars. And the data which we are collecting from the customers on the basis of this app, it will be psychographic, demographic, as well as behavioral, and that would be used through to send location-based personalized notifications. So whenever you are present in a modern trade store, the app can nudge you towards buying your favorite Mondelez product. And secondly, we would be personalizing the recommendations on the Q-commerce ads.
Okay, now Utkarsh, I would ask you, have you been in a situation where you ordered something and the delivery fee costed like 20 to 30% of the product you bought?
Yes, Aniket, and that is quite a pain just to find the right product of the right value just to meet the delivery or the discount requirement.
That's what 60% of our respondents faced. They had to buy the product which they don't even require just to meet the minimum delivery requirements to get free delivery or use their loyalty offers or the discount coupons. We brought a strategy for the quick commerce, which is the algorithm will calculate the minimum required balance, and then it will look for the Mondelez SKUs that fit that amount. Then it will identify the top 2 preferred products from the Mondelez Madhouse app data, and then it will recommend that to the user so that they can order for the free delivery or you can use the discount coupons. For the modern trade, we will be using point of purchases as an activation, and this won't just be helping our shoppers but also our prime customers who are the retailers.
With the next idea, we want to highlight the need of love and self-pampering with Cadbury, which stands for happiness and celebration. So we will be targeting students, working professionals, and women. For the students, we will be showing banner ads, and those will be on the EdTech apps and in the stationery section of the modern trade. While for the working professionals, there will be ads in the office canteens and on quick commerce. Apart from the quick commerce, for the women, we will be showing them ads and push notifications will be there on their period tracking apps and also in the female hygiene section of the modern trade, because we want to highlight the importance of self-pampering when they PMS. Also, free Mondelez branded bookmarks and mouse pads will also be given with a QR code. Prajakta Kohli and Zakir Khan will be collaborating with us for our social media campaign.
Oreo shake. It changed the perception of users how they looked Oreo as a biscuit. It created its own ingredient branded beverage. But why can't Cadbury Gems, Cadbury Hot Chocolate or Cadbury Dairy Milk do that? Our next idea is to identify certain categories and push our products in cross-category sales for increasing the secondary consumption. Even 7 out of 10 bakers we talked to suggested that they regularly use Cadbury products in their preparations if they deem fit in. But how can Mondelez push these as secondary sales?
So this will be done with a community of innovators who will be creating and innovating new recipes for us. In the modern trade and quick commerce, we will be nudging the customer for cross-category sales when they are looking for complementers while cooking and baking. We will also be launching a social media campaign called My Favorite Ingredient, where the people will be sharing their recipes just like Heart the Happiness, and those will get featured in the guide section of official Mondelez handles on Instagram. Furthermore, the top recipes will also get featured in the Mondelez Madhouse app.
So each of our idea is taking a maximum of 18 months from planning to execution. And talking about the financial aspect of things, the Madhouse app is taking into consideration the combined cost of app development, maintenance, as well as the funded discounts which we are providing. The rounding off and the complementers idea has a combined cost of Q-commerce advertisements, as well as the offline activations. And the Pamper Yourself campaign has taken into consideration the goodies which we are providing, as well as the influencer marketing, digital marketing, and some of the advertisements which we are doing on ads. Overall, it all boils down to the total cost of 3.46 crores and total revenue of 37.92 crores, which makes the ROI to be around 10.93 times. And thank you. We are open for questions now.
Hi team, this is Vedanshi from SPJMR. My question to you is, what is the value proposition of your Madhouse app?
Okay, so by value proposition, I take that why would customers download the app? So there are multiple interactive things which we are providing. First is there is a monthly discount coupon which the customer is getting. Secondly, he is also getting a very interactive app which is somewhat like Subway Surfers. And thirdly, whenever there is another campaign which Mondelez want to do, it can be conducted on this app only. So every QR code will eventually lead to this app, and that would be the reason for them to download.
To add on, we will be having offline reinforcements also in the modern trade. As you could see earlier, there was a hut-like figure there, which was a POP to push the customers to scan our QR code and register on the app.
All right, thanks.
Hi team, I want to understand why would the quick commerce put that rounding off idea into their apps, because the rounding off numbers would be so low that they don't have enough margin. They can rather use that space for advertising or branding something which has higher margin.
So we had a few words with employees of Blinkit. So they are the first thing is they are looking for different places where they can generate ad revenues from. That would be an incentive for them to generate revenue from Mondelez. Second is there are many coupons which require at least 10 to 50 rupees that a user can add and then complete their purchase order. And there are many dropouts just because of this reason as well. So that's another incentive so that the users are coming on the app and completing the order.
And just to add on to that, that was a sale which was not going to happen if the customer was not nudged towards it, and the customer would have dropped out. He would not have bought anything. So Blinkit or any other Q-commerce app would go ahead and take this up.
Thank you.
Hi team. So my question is, like platforms are already doing this in a sense. Like we've also had a similar idea in our submission in some semi-finale, but we actually found out that Blinkit and Zepto are already implementing this idea where they like show recommended products to increase the basket value. So what is the distinctive proposition of the idea?
Yeah, thank you for that question. What they are currently doing is they are recommending any other item that goes with it. But in this case, we are nudging them to not drop off from the cart. Go ahead and add something that is of 20 rupees or 30 rupees and make that purchase. Use that discount coupon. Go ahead and take that free delivery option. And that is where we come in and we provide that extra thing.
So plus, we are also using personalized data from the Madhouse app so that they are getting the best fit what they actually want. And also, we are suggesting them that you will be saving 20 rupees on your delivery by adding this 10 rupee chocolate. So that's another incentive for them.
Maybe if I had asked my first question, it's a little bit of the question that Aru asked, right? Would you rather be an average hero or a best villain? So my question is, would you rather have 4 mediocre ideas or would you have 1 bold, high-impact idea?
So keeping omni-channel in mind, Madhouse app is 1 bold idea and everything is iterated around that. We are using round off, which uses preferences of customers from Madhouse app so that it round offs best and gives best to the customer. Our third idea was pamper yourself, which will again be using customer data to identify whether they are students, they are working professionals, or they are housewives, and then allow them to pamper themselves. Our fourth idea is to push our products as complementers, which we'll be using again, using those recipes for if we are complementing for baking. And Madhouse will be one-stop solution to identify those recipes and get featured if you suggest something from them.
Only advice would be add in a fifth and round it off.
Thanks for reminding that we spent 4.9 hours on the phone, right? So I think that you got us attracted, but then you put app. Do you know how many apps are there in the world? Take a number.
We don't have around 100 million.
So there are 9 million apps, I think. What I've read is there are 3 million apps new every year. 3 million apps new every year. On an average, tell me how many apps a person uses every day. Take a number.
I think he uses maximum of 7 to 8 apps.
Now you're expecting that a guy who eats Cadbury once in a day to be your big idea. I think I am with... Your ideas are good, by the way. Your rounding off also got me attracted. So I think your ideas are attractive, but I think they are all small. And I think Madhouse, I would have loved to see what is that in Madhouse that one day I will look at my app. I delete more apps than I put on more apps. So I would have loved to see something that will generate in the app.
So I can take that up. So in this app, we are talking to our target audience and our loyal audience who are regular chocolate eaters. And for them, having an option to get a discount, a monthly discount on something that they love, would go ahead and push them towards keeping that app. We are looking at multiple stickiness options, but on top of that, one of the major factor that helps us is push notifications. So even if you don't use that app, you still get a lot of notifications on your app, and you might just go ahead and take a look at it. That is where the push notifications is helping us. So yes.
Just to add on here, the game which is there, so it is a multiplayer game which brings in a social exercise and activity, so people can also interact with their friends on that particular app.
Got it. So one of the things you mentioned was the entire idea hinges on a lot of data and insights. Yeah. If tomorrow you have privacy laws that don't allow you to collect data of the consumer, what will happen to your idea?
So thank you for that question. Currently, we are not using any data that the regulations stop us from. But talking about maybe in the future they stop us from taking the geolocation of the customers. There are other things that are helping us to personalize our communications. So maybe that one thing gets lost because of the regulations. But there are 5 other things that are helping us and providing us the right data to personalize our communications.
What are those 5 others? Like, if you could be a little more specific.
Yes, sir. So, other than the location aspect, we are also looking at how the customer interacts. How many times does he go ahead and order something from Q-commerce ads? Secondly, we are also collecting the age of that person, whether he's a male or a female. We are also collecting currently. Before even these apps existed, Airtel did a campaign where they used to send SMSs whenever someone was near a tower. So even if you lose the location aspect of things, we can still have the number, and that number can help us send a SMS, if not a push notification. So yeah, these are some of the things.
Again, I think I echo with what others have said. This just seems to be too many ideas there. And like even as we were looking at them, which one do you think will have the least impact? Which one you think is like, you should not do it of everything that you have?
Yeah, I can take that up. I think that the complementers aspect, which was the 4th idea, where we talked about recipes, I think if we have to miss something out, it can be the 4th idea.
But we really would say that we can't say that it won't have any impact. Mondelez products are very much being used as secondary options as ingredients with other primary ingredients. But yeah, that would be someone we'll drop it if you would.
Actually, I think that's the best idea among the lot. So, but anyway, we can have a...
Okay. Help me understand one more thing. The whole rounding off idea, right? Sounds exciting. But the whole aspect of UPI and how it's helping is the ease that you don't need to carry change. You can pay exactly what you want to do.
Yes, sir.
Why the hell would you again want to push people to go back into the old physical world where you have to find the right amount of change and then kind of add to my basket and get into that whole thing?
So just to clarify, this is not about getting the change. This is about reaching the minimum delivery requirement, which is present both in offline and online, and using the discount coupon. For example, in DMart, they have a discount for 1,500 rupees of purchase. And for example, if you are stuck at 1,450, you reach that counter, you find that you don't have the adequate amount to use that. On your right-hand side, you see a POP which helps you and pushes you towards buying the Mondelez product. And similarly in Blinkit, so there are 150 rupees which is set for free delivery in some of the cities. And many of the customers don't go ahead and buy it from Blinkit because they're not able to reach the free delivery aspect. That is where Mondelez, which is everyone's favorite, most of the people's favorite, comes in.
Good. So what do you think will be the cost of doing this nudge?
So for that, we have done an analysis. I'll just... So talking about the Blinkit and the Q-commerce advertisements, the total cost which we are looking at is, I'll just take a minute, sir. So the total cost will be around 5 crore rupees on Q-commerce advertisements, and the POS activation which we are talking about will cost around 200 rupees each, and the total cost for that would be around 16 lakhs. If we do a 50%, if we do a 50% penetration in the modern trade, the total being 22,000. So the total cost would be around 76 lakh rupees. And yeah, so not a lot of cost.
Got it.
Thank you. Thank you, team. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was not the one answering questions, but definitely sweating on the side, hearing the roast. So I'd now like to call upon our next team, Team Kaizen from Niti Mumbai. Can we have you on stage, guys? A huge round of applause for them. All right, so before we get thrown again into the world of numbers and terminologies, I'll just ask the team a quick question. So if there was one fictional character that you had to be friends with, who would it be and why?
Doraemon, I guess. So since we have our team is a set of millennials and Gen Zs combined, I think we won't mind a cat that bears gift. So yeah.
Got it. I know we keep saying early careers and young leaders, but we didn't mean that young, guys. Anyway, have a great pitch. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. We are Team Kaizen, and this is our big idea for Mondelez Maestros. So we started Mondelez analysis by understanding what Mondelez is doing, not only in India, but internationally. So what attracted us was Sherlock pilot program, the snack display program, and Cadbury gifting. The growth opportunity we are seeing is anticipating customer need and want for omni-channel. According to a research, the company using omni-channel strategies retain 89% of their customers. The 4 capability area which we have identified after this, where the first one is supply chain integration, where we are aiming at seamless integration between modern trade and e-commerce. The second one is digital solution, which is a platform where seller can reach out and interact with the customers. The third one is personalization, which will be based on past purchase data and demographics to offer curated discounts and recommendations. The fourth one is product strategy, which is to devise product launch strategies and gifting program for our customer.
What we actually want to do is provide the freedom to our customers to buy any product from any channel at a single platform. So there again, an app. So this is what the homepage would be looking like. As a customer, if I download the app, I'll be asked to put in some basic details, including my birthday and anniversary dates that we can use for sending personalized discounts going forward. I can look through the entire Mondelez catalog from one place. I can even understand what e-commerce delivers at my location, what are the nearby stores that I can pick up product from. The app will also have an inbuilt feature of BOPS, which is buy online and pick up at store. So I can just book my product, and while going to work or home, I can pick up the product quickly. Moreover, there will be digital payment options as well in the app itself. We'll be incentivizing the customers through the loyalty program. So we'll be giving them, based on their card value, some loyalty points which they can redeem on the next order. The app itself as a platform can provide a place where we can set personalized discounts and create home pages for our customers. We also look forward to developing an interactive in-app store as we move forward.
So moving forward, we would like to integrate the virtual and the physical experience for the complete omnichannel experience. So we will recreate the iconic Kitna Maza Aaye Re song with the help of Chocolate World in the metaverse, and where people can create their avatars and they can they can engage with the Mondelez products, lifelike Mondelez products. Then we will partner with the modern trade to host chocolate carnivals, which will give real-life experience of in-app games, as well as it will help us strengthen the relationship between the Mondelez and the modern trade. We can also add the subscription services where people can order items like biscuits, Bonvita, or chocolates on monthly and weekly basis, and it will be fulfilled by the modern trade, making a win-win proposition for both. We can scan for the loyalty points, which is available at the wrapper, and the points can be redeemed in the app. That would make it a complete omni-channel loyalty system. And also, if we come across a product in the store or in the ad, that is a billboard or something, then we can scan it, we can get the product information, we can order it from the app, and it will be delivered to our home, making it a complete omni-channel experience.
We know that rural market is currently underserved by the e-commerce. Therefore, we can prompt our user, they can buy premium chocolate from our app, which will be delivered by the distributor to the retailer with the routine orders. So the customer can pick it up from the retailer. This will enable Mondelez to tap the untapped rural market, which is currently unserviceable by the e-commerce. Our customer are very accustomed with WhatsApp, so we can leverage this and deploy chat bots for greater customer engagement, with the ultimate goal of redirecting them towards our app for further purchases. All of us like to customize our gift, so in order to encourage this, we have designed a program of make your own gift basket, where customer can choose their preferred chocolate and also add personalized message for their loved ones. This will enable us to offer them personalized offers during these special occasions. Going forward, we aim to develop a Mondelez platform wherein they can view and share the recipes they have created using Mondelez products.
So an important aspect for the omni-channel would be the inventory visibility for MT and e-com. So for the modern trades, we will onboard them with the inventory management system by providing it to the under-equipped MTs and empowering them with the forecasting capabilities. And for the others, we will have an add-in which we will deploy, which will fetch the live Mondelez stock. The benefits would be data visibility, which will lead to the prevention in the stockouts. For the e-com, we will use bots to track the availability, price, and offers. The implementation will be in the 4 phases. The first phase will be will focus on the application development and testing. The second phase will focus on the rollout of the application and awareness in Tier 1 cities along with the referral programs. The third phase will focus on the personalized offers and social media integration. And the fourth phase, it will focus on the Mondelez community platform development along with expansion in Tier 2 and 3 cities.
Now coming to an essential question, what are the benefits for the various stakeholders? Starting with the customers, we are giving them the luxury of convenience, where we are providing them information on the products, discounts, stores that are near to them, and also we are helping them customize the gifts as well. For modern trades, the BOPS will increase the footfall, which provides them cross-selling opportunities. Moreover, we'll be providing them customer insights as well that can help them better the product portfolio on their shelves. For Mondelez, first-party data would be an important thing. Moreover, the social media advertisements that are currently leading you to the third-party marketplaces will be now leading you to the Mondelez app directly. When we come to the financials, so with an investment of 3.47 crore in the next 3 years, we can generate a revenue of 110 crore in the next 3 years, and that brings us to an ROI of 32. The cost and the revenue that we have considered are shown here. Thank you.
This is Suraj from IIM Kashipur. So as you mentioned that very less rural retailers are onboarded. Do you have any statistics to back this up?
Right. So our rural idea was not actually on the rural retailers. It was on the fact that e-commerce that are living, the quick commerce that you have here, are not present in rural, do not have a big footprint over there. The point was the premium chocolates that are not being provided over there can be provided through the app when the distributor sends their daily inventory to the retailer. That was the point.
But do you believe that premium chocolates would be bought by the people in rural sector?
Why are you undermining the income and the choices of a rural area? I don't understand.
Because of the purchasing power, it differentiates.
Exactly. So you are saying, I'm sorry, but you are basically saying that they don't have enough disposable income, which I don't think is the right thing to assume. Yeah.
I mentioned that.
Nitish here from SPJMR. So my question is, you're trying to create a D2C platform. Given that it's a low cost item, how are you going to justify the logistics costs involved with the same during the delivery of such products over your D2C platform?
Right. Thanks for giving us an opportunity to clarify. It's not a D2C platform. It's a platform where you get all the D2C platforms that deliver to your location. It basically tells you from where you can buy. So you'll be actually making the purchase on the app itself. Delivery will be made through the e-commerce app and the MTs that have those capabilities in place.
Just to follow up, given that you said all D2C brands would be there, why would an Amazon or a Flipkart both together partner with the app, or a Swiggy and Zepto together on your app? Because given that there'll be a lot of conflict of interest, and given that there would be other platforms as well which they're competing with on the app, how do you think that will work out? And
Right. So actually customers are already going through the apps and comparing those prices. We are just providing them one single platform. So from a customer's perspective, where your point is right, from a platform's perspective, why would they onboard? So we are actually sending them new customers as well. So maybe if Big Basket is providing better offers, or somewhere the delivery is just by Big Basket and not by Amazon, we'll be sending them customers. So it's basically the e-commerce platforms are already pitched against each other. We are not helping increase this competition.
Thank you.
Hi, so Utkarsh from SIBM Pune. You had a mention of BOPS, which was buy online, pay at pick up at store. But there is no preparation time involved when you buy a chocolate. So why would I place an order for a chocolate online and then go ahead and pick up it later at store?
Right. So actually, there is some time taken. So I don't want to go through the aisle by aisle and select the products. Moreover, I don't want to figure out what all products are there available. So from the convenience of my home, I can look what products are available at what store, and the order will be made ready. So that saves me a lot of time and trouble of finding the product in the store.
All right, over to the jury.
Okay. Your idea seems like an amalgamation of everything that's happening in the market. You just brought it together and put it over here. Or is there something unique in that idea?
Okay, so so you are right. So it is an amalgamation of idea because there is a need for centralized system. That is what we believe. Our customers having to look through each of the options and comparing, we would want to give that ease to our customers. That's why we want everything at one place. The second point being, it is unique because the loyalty program and the marketing aspects, the gaming aspect being omni-channel in nature, is not something that we have seen before.
Okay. And what's the complexity that will go behind to make this happen? Have you thought about how much of back-end work that needs to get done to bring your app alive and make it successful, and hope that the people will come back to your app and feel there's enough value in it? What kind of customer experience that needs to go through?
Right. So this is actually one of the biggest problems that any app idea will face: customer retention. Currently, if we see the average customer retention is just 5%. And that's in 30 days, 90 days of app downloadment. In a year, it reaches 5%. Before that, 30%, 80%, many customers drop. If you can go to the finance slide if possible, I can show you what considerations we have made for the app. So there are app development costs, app maintenance costs that would be a charge. So app development can be a one-time thing. But the feature, next, right here. So app development and the yearly maintenance cost we have taken. There is also an yearly marketing cost of 40% of the app itself. So these are some of the things that we have to spend every year. Those costs have been accounted for in the total.
I also meant complexity in terms of the logistics to make this happen. How many touch points how many partners will you have to get on board to get this happen, to make this happen? What kind of technology that you will have to invest in to ensure that it is fully seamless between our app and their apps? And do you think that the customers will be keen to kind of get into this kind of a idea? Mondelez is one. There are so many FMCG companies, non-FMCG companies. If everybody wants to do the same thing, do you think it's worthwhile an app's time to do all of this, like an Amazon or a Flipkart or a Zepto or anybody else?
Right. So I'd like to break down that question in two parts. The first part being the logistics. Yeah, that is a difficult aspect, getting all MTs on board. But moreover, there will be key account managers we'll be in contact with. So if in case we want a national partnership with DMart, that should be a one touch point, and they already have IMS in place, so inventory management system. That's why we have also accounted the cost for inventory management system for the MTs that don't have access to that. We also have an add-in in place, so that makes quicker for onboarding. Our target would be to start with the national level retailers so that it's easier to get multiple stores at once on the app. Your second question being, why would anyone download a company-specific app? That's actually a valid question. That is what we also thought. Why would anyone download Mondelez app? Because tomorrow maybe maybe Britannia will say download our app. So it has to be the first mover advantage. Until JioMart or DMart, who have an entire product offering, comes on and defeats us, I think we will be the market leader. Moreover, the loyalty program and the games part, which will keep on existing. There is no point of loyalty program for chocolate specific or the gifting part on the JioMart, which will always give us an edge over the other platforms.
So just a question, other than the airlines loyalty program, do you have any data on why loyalty program would be the success factor for this app? I mean, how many of us? I have like 2,000 loyalty programs running. I don't even remember which one to go to. So Cadbury's own or Mondelez own app with the incentive for a customer to shop from there versus going on any online channel or even going to the store or modern trade outlet. Is the loyalty program just the only thing? And what's the data behind your proposition of the loyalty program being the cutting edge?
Right. So our loyalty program is just like any other loyalty program. It is based on the points. Other than the airline loyalty program, the rest are all... No, so I would actually disagree with it, because when it comes to big purchase items like gifting, loyalty programs do play an important role, because there we have the margin enough to offer them something tangible, something for which the customers will stay with us. So, but when it comes to a 5 rupee or 10 rupee chocolates, I'm pretty sure that the loyalty program does not work on those levels. But for big purchases, it does make an impact, and our product portfolio definitely has such purchases. Moreover, the subscription part is also there, which is, it basically acts like a fixed revenue for us as well as our modern retailers as well on a monthly and weekly basis. So on those purchases as well, if we have guaranteed purchases, we can provide them some impact that customers might also consider tangible for them.
As well as the target group that we are focusing on is youth, and they are very conscious about the money that they are spending. In case they get offers, they'll never say no to it. So I think that is one aspect, and we can see in the cosmetics industry also, for Sephora, for example, that is a luxury brand. So for those, loyalty programs do work.
I started blinking a little when you said subscription, right? Now we are a snacking powerhouse and snacking largely indulgent, right? So if I want to really have a chocolate while watching a movie or some such, but my subscription is weekly, monthly. So I'm just wondering about the fitment of subscription to the categories where we dabble mostly in.
Right. So when we were interacting with our customers, we actually realized they make purchases from two perspectives. We also thought that chocolate is something, that instant gratification thing. You like, you buy, you eat it and you enjoy it. But from their perspective, Mondelez has Cadbury, Oreo as well as Bonvita and Tang in place. So when it comes to those things, they have a monthly thing which they like to purchase. We were interacting with a mom that told that every month she likes to buy an entire box of Perk, which she gives to her kid every morning or something. So that is where we think the subscription program works, because Tang and Oreo are something that you buy every month, and you would like it delivered home. And we are just sending reminders, and you have to just give an instant confirmation.
And one more question. I think let's look at your chart on app customers, right? 5 crores. What you're saying is the moment you launch, you'll have 5 crores customers on the app and 21 crores in 4 years' time. Right? Tell me one or two apps in India which in a year or two have reached 5 crores app downloads. This is big. And tell me, why would you feel confident? And if you happen, without any cost, you are able to get users, 5 crore users, to download a Cadbury app. So give me some confidence, then I will tell you one app which has got 5 crores, and when I will tell you the name, you will realize why this may not stack up. But first I want to understand from you, why do you believe this can stack up?
Right. So I'll tell you how we got this 5 crore number. It sounds outrageous. I understand your point. So the market capture percentages that we have taken are from the big basket. We have seen their growth over and over here. We do not have any reference since this is not something that other brands have created. So we have taken big basket as our reference point. Moreover, we are not taking this percentage on the entire market that is there. This is on the percentage of Mondelez customers that are going to be there. So it's easier for us to get loyal customers on board using that percentages, that 5 crore number comes. And we are incurring a cost because there is a marketing cost attached with it, which is shown on the right side of the slide.
No, I like the confidence. Dream 11 is the company that reached 5 crore app, and you know Dream 11. Yeah. How many years and how many billions it has spent to get an app base of 5 crores. So this is seriously overcooked, but if you can reach, the cost is seriously undercooked. Because all your numbers are based on how many customers will download the app and then how many customers will use the app. And I'm trying to get your confidence level on that.
Sir, if you see there's a retained customers after a year. So if you see there is a drop. So that 21.9 crore customers are the possible customers that will try the app. But it's just 1.1 crore when it comes to, and still we are generating in 110 crore revenue.
Thank you. Thank you, team. Can we have, yeah. I think when Tejas starts to ask questions, even my heartbeat goes a little up. Thank you, jury. Now I'd like to call the last, but definitely not the least, Team 3 Biscuitiers from NMIMS. A round of applause for the team, please. How are you feeling, team? Confident after watching all of these roasts?
We are anxious actually after the roast, but we'll do our best.
It's Friday and it's almost 6, so you can judge the kind of questions coming at you, but take it easy and all the best.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we'll start. So good evening everyone. We are Team 3 Biscuitiers from NM Mumbai, and we are here to present our solution which will give Mondelez a distinct advantage in the omnichannel phase. So using our research, we found out key determinants for choosing a channel, and based on which we defined 6 shopper missions, and we mapped those to 2 shopper journeys, one for quick commerce and one for modern trade. In quick commerce, we found out awareness stage plays a vital role. Digital advertising makes the user aware of the new products in the top of the line itself. In the modern trade, consideration stage is a vital one because in-store visibility elements like FSUs, slat walls, parasites have an impact on what the user is going to buy. So moving on, we also determine key factors that drove consumption and purchase to get deeper insight into hidden motivations. So festivities and impulse urges were some of the factors that drove consumption, and urgent assortment demand and solution to use cases and discovery were some of the factors that drove purchase. So moving on, we also analyzed some of the platforms, nature of some platforms based on determined by the portfolio offerings and their operating price points. So for example, Blinkit had, in quick commerce, Blinkit had high ticket and premium offerings, while in modern trade, DMart and Reliance had strong presence and high penetration in omnichannel, and distribution network, they had strong distribution network in tier 1 and tier 2 cities. So using all the knowledge, we came up with the concept of slice of life, and our objective was to correlate relevant SKUs and channels to slice of life. For example, a slice of life could be impromptu gathering in Juhu after work, so which will prompt user to go to go and order premium products. So we can map that to Blinkit as it has premium products. So 2,000 plus correlations are possible, and our goal is to identify key slices of life and key slices of life using SKUs and channels, and have Mondelez in every one of them.
So here we present our big idea, the Mondelez Analytics Engine. This would help Mondelez drive a distinctive competitive advantage in the omnichannel space by leveraging the power of data. We want to know, demand in any FMCG is driven by being available at the arm's length of the consumer. So we want to be available at the right time, at the right place, in the right form, at the right price, and in the right quantity with the consumer. So let's see how this will work. So we first begin by user profiling through multiple data touchpoints. So some of our touchpoints would be third-party partners that we aim to partner with, area-wise consumption characteristics from our partners, EPOS, dark store data, and even Mondelez's own D2C channel. So after analyzing these data points, we analyze purchase patterns by using parameters like demographics, purchase frequency, average order value, and so on. So this gives us a better idea of what is driving consumption and what is driving purchase in that particular area, which would then be cross-mapped to drive targeted offerings to our users in that area. So moving on to the back end of that idea, so the first step begins by data collection, by building that entire learning model. So for example, in Collaba, our channel partner Blinkit will tell us that this particular SKU is demanded in this particular quantity at this particular time. So extrapolating that at a larger scale, we will get an idea on what exactly is demanded in each area. This data will then be cleansed, processed, segregated, and these insights will again be dispatched to our channel partners. So we will know that in Collaba, gifting is a trend at that time of the year. So we will make sure that relevant SKUs are available at that time in that channel.
Now let's understand the forward integration of the data. In Tier 1 cities, SKU recommendations would be provided to stores like D-Mart and Reliance Mart. Currently, they have a D+2 delivery model, but we would install Mondelez dedicated coolers at their smart points and D-Mart ready points to have same-day order fulfillment of a wide assortment. The implementation of this would also be done for Tier 2 and 3 cities, where SKU recommendations would be provided to glass door retailers and GT distributors for efficient inventory management. The value proposition for Mondelez is that it will have the right product at the right channel at the right time. The value proposition for our retail partners would be increased customer influx, increasing their cross-sell opportunities, and maximizing their inventory turns. Now, moving on to the quick commerce, we would do that by personalized targeting. Let's look at Kinari Kumari, a consumer emotion user. So she is a workaholic, and usually after a long day of work, she has impulse cravings between 6 and 8 p.m. So the engine will design an entire profile around Kinari, and with partnerships with platforms like Swiggy, Instamart, and Zepto, we'll be able to send Mondelez-specific in-app notifications and banner ads to Kinari. Moving on to the dominance in modern trade, it will be done through category planning and FSU design. So for example, in Andheri West, if there is a high family concentration, then category planning will be done with relevant assortment and messaging. For FSU targeting, we can do that basis the area and the trends there. So for example, if BKC has high male concentration, then we can have FSUs designed for special occasions like World Cup matches or late night matches.
So coming on to the implementation, we have divided the plan into 3 phases. The first phase would concentrate on defining data touchpoints and shopper mission and shopper journeys. In the phase 2, we'll select retail partners and partner with them to pilot test and validate the channel learning model and implement the idea in Tier 1 cities. In phase 3, we'll move on to scaling up the idea and replicating the model in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Overall, it will optimize the supply chain, reduce the back orders, and will eventually reduce the cost reductions, and eventually increasing the growth revenue. So for resource requirements, we have divided into 4 and 3 parts. Infrastructure requirements, human resource cost, channel partner cost, so which would come to 7 crores fixed and yearly recurring as 11.6 crores.
Now let's try to quantify the entire success that we've been talking about. So there's mainly 2 benefits that we see from this idea. One is the boost in revenues, and other is cost savings. So through our entire data-driven targeting idea, we expect an increase in average order value across all the channels and a share of deliveries across these channels. So in quick commerce, we expect a 5-year capability benefit of 74 crores. Similarly, in e-groceries, we expect a 40 crore benefit, and in modern trade, we expect a huge chunk of 154 crore benefit across these channels. In cost savings, we've analyzed multiple parameters that this can benefit us. So primarily in marketing costs, we would reduce the customer acquisition cost by 48% and the customer retention cost by 79%. In terms of stock availability, as we would know that which SKU is most demanded in that area, so that would give us a benefit in the opportunity loss that we're currently having from an 86 crore benefit. And lastly, we know that...
Thank you, team.
Hi team, Utkarsh from SIBM Pune. I just wanted to know that you talked about SKU recommendations where you will be collecting data about what is being sold in a particular modern trade and then recommend that which one to keep. But this is already being done. FMCG brands already take the data of what is being sold in a particular location at a particular modern trade and then restock it accordingly. So what was new with what you recommended?
So it's still, yeah, I mean, that's really right that the companies know that which sort of SKUs are driven there, but our idea is mainly around designing the entire category which resonates with the consumer that is dominant in that area. So the category messaging along with the assortment would be constantly updated through the entire year. So right now basically the time to data from the retail partner to the company, it's very slow. So we aim to optimize that so that the turnaround is actually much faster. So that will help us in category planning as well as targeting the FSUs, which would increase resonance with the customer.
Adding to that, we are doing it on a hyper-local level, first of all. And secondly, one of the key insights that we got from our consumer emotion was that in one of the main modern trade channels, they didn't find the SKUs that they really wanted, and rather they found it elsewhere in general trade or other platforms. So there are gaps that still exist with modern trade, and which we try to do that with a central engine where we are taking data not only from one data point but multiple data points.
Hi team. So you mentioned that you'd create a profile of a consumer that you just spoke about. So how would you tackle that amid privacy concerns, and how would that be helped by the data that you'd get from the aggregator apps?
So currently there are data that are available and they are being sold as well. So there are platforms like Nielsen and Kantar which sell your POS data and dark store data, and they are being done. So currently there are no such privacy issues, and those data are being leveraged. Additionally, we are in case that it doesn't happen, we will take it up to a point which is above consumer profiles. We'll take it to the area level where we'll understand what happens in a particular geography. So for example, we are taking the example of Colaba, so you'll understand the general trend of what happens in Colaba. So that won't be getting into the privacy details of a personal individual consumer.
And we are also focusing on data that they are giving us using the websites, Mondelez website, the gifting website and here. So they are eventually giving us the data themselves. So in case of privacy issues, we can use that data in case anything happens.
Right, thank you teams. Over to the jury.
Okay, so what do you think is the limitation in your plan?
So the primary limitation that we can see is the data collection part, because there are multiple touch points that we would have to cover. And as we mentioned, there's a 65 crore investment that we are proposing to Mondelez. But the payoffs that this will have would be in the long term and are actually the ROI numbers that we've been able to run. It's a 17.8x return. And this implementing this idea, if done right, can give a distinctive advantage for Mondelez over the next 20 years. So this idea has actually taken inspiration of sorts from Asian Paints. So Asian Paints has also developed its understanding of demand in each area. So they know what the consumer wants before they themselves know it. So they have such an efficient supply chain that their costs are really optimized. But for that, we need to really build strong partnerships with the channel partners.
And one more limitation that we see is, for example, we had a user persona in Juhu. What if the user will move to Andheri in the next month and move back to Juhu? So there is a limitation that in how much time we should update that user profile and keep updated with the area and the behavior of the user. So that might change. For example, a 20-year-old would not have same chocolates as he's getting or she is getting old. So that is one of the limitations.
So this personalized targeting, right, that you use through data collection, so I understand it helps to be much more effective with existing customers, but your CAC is reducing in half by half, right? So how's the data helping acquisition of new customers and scaling up the channels?
Yes, ma'am. So we haven't been able to put our finger on the modern trade customer acquisition cost because there's a lot of variables involved. But we have analyzed quick commerce and e-grocery patterns. So we've actually had conversations with CAMs at Swiggy and Blinkit. So we got the idea that so basically we propose the idea of targeted notifications, right? Targeted notifications and banner ads. So on an average, it takes 33 impressions of a notification to convert a customer into a purchase. So So through that, we found that there is a huge CAC that the company is spending for that. So we expect
My
that.
question is, how would you target a customer if it's not already your consumer? So you've not acquired that customer yet.
No, but at least the customer is not acquired yet, but we still know the most dominant trend in that area, and it's still more likely to be targeted to their taste since they are in that area.
So we also are creating consumer profiles basis of the people who are available on Swiggy and they are purchasing chocolates. Basis that we can acquire them, understanding their impulses and when they are making a purchase. So for example, if you are consuming a competitor chocolate at say 6 to 8 p.m., if I am pushing or nudging you to try a Mondelez, then we will be able to acquire you over a period of time.
And once that targeting goes on and on, so the customer is actually retained. So we also found from our the CAM at Swiggy that the impressions reduced down to 7 from 33. So the retention actually gives us a 79% reduction with having that consumer and repeat purchases increase.
This 5-year benefit is a cumulative benefit that you put, right?
Yeah, so that is a revenue benefit plus the cost savings.
Otherwise, for the year, it's around 260.
Yeah,
Full
revenue benefit is 266 year. So I've also put in a maturity coefficient. So obviously data models take time to learn and understand the entire model. So we've spoken to a lot of developers and similar models that have been implemented. So it takes a good 5 years for a model to mature properly. So we put a maturity coefficient on each of the years, and through that we've discounted the revenues and the cost as well.
And tell me, if you go to the previous page, right, your cost of acquisition or cost on modern trade, help me, what would be your cost in modern trade?
So in modern trade, we'd be installing dedicated Mondelez coolers and we'd be having our targeted SKUs there. So for that, there'll be a partnership cost with DMart and Reliance. That is one of the major costs for modern trade. And the second would be in case if any infrastructure requirements are there for the modern trade to install those dedicated coolers.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Wow, tired. So I'll invite the jury members to, take a short recess and also huddle back there in that section to deliberate and finally name the winners for today. And in the meantime, over to Aru.
Alright guys, now that the pitches are done, how are you feeling? Can you breathe? Sigh of relief. So how was the experience, Mondelez Maestros, if someone would like to talk about it? From the first stage to the grand finale, you're sitting here now. Anyone wants to share their experience? Yeah.
Experience has been quite unique. We as a team have taken part in a lot of competitions, and we did not submit any PPT through any video submission for that matter. We did not have any customer immersions as such, so this was very unique in itself. We got the opportunity to talk to the right customer which we wanted to in a particular city at a particular age. So throughout it was very unique for us.
Amazing. Yeah, I think consumer emotions are one of the key factors. So if anyone else wants to talk about their consumer emotions, because I heard a lot of you guys mentioned the insights that you got from your consumer emotions during your pitches. So how exactly did it help you? Anyone would like to talk a little bit more about that? Yeah, sure.
So the thing that we included around shopper journeys, shopper missions, and the determinants that a consumer factors in while choosing their channels for purchase. So consumer emotions really helped us understand that thing, that what sort of a need would direct you to which sort of a channel. And since the entire problem statement was around omnichannel and integrating the consumer in that omnichannel, so that really helped us get a good understanding on what goes where.
Amazing, amazing. Great. So if I were to ask more of a BQ style question, what were your key takeaways from this entire journey? I hope you are familiar with BQs because that's the term we had. Behavioral questions? Yeah. Anyone wants to talk about their key takeaways? Like one key takeaway from this entire journey that you had, something that I think you can use forward going ahead as you even start your corporate journey.
I'll tell you my key takeaway. When you don't know the answer, you say first mover advantage. Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants to top that answer. No, Abhishek.
Just pulling the leg.
Yeah.
Anybody, go for it.
Go for
Have
it.
fun.
You guys can breathe. The jury is deliberating, I know, but still, you can take it easy.
Yeah.
You're done with your part.
The key takeaway is that omnichannel cannot be ignored.
Yeah, definitely.
Cannot be ignored.
Yeah. That was the starting point, no? Good one. Anybody else? Anybody else wants to? Guys, we do a lot of the roasting thing, but it's okay.
I think you've been roasted enough by the jury. We won't do that.
Yeah, so the key takeaway was that only when you say grand roast, it is actually grand roast.
Yes. So if I were to ask you, what was the biggest challenge that you faced as you were progressing through the rounds? Because we had multiple stages, and I think Mondelez Maestros is one such case competition where it's very comprehensive, the way in which you have to develop your solution. It's not just that you take an idea and then you pitch it the next day. It's a journey that's been done over 5 months. So there must have been some challenges that you encountered. What is it that you faced?
I think a challenge for us was to not lose the essence of our original idea and just build upon it and go in depth rather than, say, diverging from it.
Yep, I think we heard that a lot today. Anyone else? Yeah.
Another challenge for us was keeping the idea very simple. There are not many players which are very coherently providing an omni-channel experience to the customers. So looking at that and keeping the idea that simple was a big challenge for us. Also, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our mentor, Ms. Ashima, and to Mondelez for the mentoring sessions. So thank you so much.
Amazing. Yeah, coming to that, you guys had mentoring sessions. So how did those go? What exactly were those sessions about? What kind of feedback did you get from your mentors? If you want to talk about that. You did have mentorship sessions, right? Yes.
So our mentor, Mr. Vinay, so he validated our idea and he gave us, a very solid ground and solid points to work upon. So that really helped us in shaping us the idea that we had in the finale. Like in the semis round, we had some, we had some gaps and he helped us to really fulfill them. So it was a really helpful mentoring session.
Awesome. Anyone else wants to talk about?
Yeah, so our conversation with our mentor, Ms. Ashima, helped us a lot. So helped and also challenged us a lot because we had to remove some ideas. We had to add a lot of things on top of that. We got to know that a lot of things that we are thinking would work might just go down the drain. So yeah, that was very interesting for us.
Got it. I think we have a winning mentor here. Not sure about the team. Abhishek, anything you'd like to ask
No,
the teams?
I think the judges are quite ready.
Yeah.
Roast session of the mentors. Yeah.
All right, so let's do this. Who do you think is going to win? Obviously, you guys will nominate yourself. I will ask the audience sitting behind you. Any guesses? Sorry? Got it.
Thank you. Okay. Nitin. Okay, let's go. Go for it. Before we get into the final result declaration, I think in true roast tradition, I'm required to also roast the grand jury. But then I'm not sure that I should do that for my own good. All right. So I'll try my best. So my first question. So the word on the street is that one of our jury members was an aspiring model back in the day. I don't know who that person is, but Nagina, if you were to make a film on your own life, right, what would that film be? And who would you have play you? You can obviously nominate yourself as well.
Okay, so I wasn't an aspiring model, but I was an aspiring film actress. Come from a city where many sort of went into Bollywood. So
Right.
that said, I'll of course obviously nominate myself. So an unfulfilled dream I'll probably fulfill now. And we talk so much of diversity. I think I'd like to do a Bond movie with me in action.
The first female Bond. Yeah? Oh, lovely, amazing. So my next question. Obviously, the case this time was very sales centric. I have to confess that sales and distribution was my favorite subject in B school. My favorite subject in B school was sales and distribution. Okay, so Des, this question is to you. For you, obviously, sales and distribution was the best subject, right? Your favorite subject. So what other subject do you remember fondly, and would you want to tell us something about?
Well, just to let you know, I studied HR. Okay. I'm an HR graduate in B school, but yes, somehow found my way into sales and I've been here, right? So the subjects that I loved fondly were the ones that put me to sleep in class, because there were a lot of other activities that were happening throughout the day in campus and at night. So whichever subject put me to sleep, I should love it, because that was the time I could sleep in class.
Yeah, I know that. Your batch won Excel IMC after a long time.
Absolutely.
Good. Next one to Tejas. So I think if we take a poll, you would be the most loved jury amongst the people.
I will believe you.
And really, I mean, we really put them under the gun here. A difficult case, difficult questions coming their way. Would you want to relate an incident from your own life, from your early careers, where you really put under the pressure, under the heat, and you actually came out on the other side a winner?
I mean, first, without having to scare them, if this they thought is under the gun, okay. But now about me, right? And I think now to take their side, we are also presenting, right? This group, we end up presenting, right? We get a lot of tougher questions than this, and we are not as good as them in answering. So great job, I think, done by them to answer all the roast that you had today. And I think I would say one experience in my career, I was posted in Turkey, right? And I was going to my look-see trip, and my mother called, "Have you seen Turkey in the map?" I don't know if you guys have seen the map. I can't say more. We are on live. It's recording. But you have to see the countries around Turkey. So she said, "Are you really going to Turkey?" And I thought, it's a fantastic country. And from a career point of view, I thought I'm going to land in a nice valley. I ended up landing in a jungle. Right? But in the end of the career, I think having worked through the wildlife and being successful, finally climbed to the mountains and had a nice skiing trip. So tough things in career also help you. And actually, the jobs that put you out of the comfort zone the most are the ones that teach you. So Turkey was one of those curve balls, but I think bigger than the curve balls they got today. Today was a ping pong curve ball. They have yet to see the season ball yet.
Great answer, Tejas. Thank you so much. My next one to Nitin. I think, Nitin, one of the big things that personally for me while interacting with all of these people takes me back to the times that I spent in campus. So my question to you, some crazy experiences from the Joka days.
Firstly, that feels like a very nice question. It doesn't feel like a roast question. But I think before that, I must say congratulations to all of you for putting up this wonderful show. I mean, it's amazing. And also to all the participants, a big hand to all of you. Doing amazingly well. Congratulations. You know, as they say, everybody's a winner. So I think in terms of like my Joka days, you know, I mean, oh boy, like there's so many. The first time when I landed there, it's beautiful campus, 7 lakes. The first time we went to Excel and won, like when the Excel IMC and what intensity, you know, it was amazing. But I must say, if I have to pick one moment, it has to be when I landed my dream role, which was at Mondelez. It's been 20 years since then and what a ride. So that has to be the moment.
Nitin is obviously a poster boy for early careers going into leadership, right? Okay. So our participants did a lot of research to prepare for the case. So my next question to you, Sonali. What is that one guilty pleasure that you can't get through the day without, like, you know, some snack? And what is the strategic excuse that you give yourself when you let yourself go on that?
I think that's unfair, right? It's not a strategic excuse. I think it's a noble cause. I set myself up and, you know, as adding to business, but also testing and consuming more. True to character, my guilty pleasure is nutties.
That's a cult favorite from our stable. Okay, thank you, jury. Thank you for being so sporting. I'll now request all of you to please come up on stage. And if you want to talk briefly about any one of the pitches, compliment the finalists, and then, of course, declare the winner. Can we please have all of you up on stage? And guys, please, a big round of applause. Yep. Okay, perfect. So, welcome, Des.
Okay, so first of all, a big round of applause to all the participants. Yeah. The fact that you made it here amongst the thousands of teams that they applied is a testament to the great work that you've already done. Quite a thorough job in terms of trying to kind of put your idea in place, look at various aspects, and kind of understand what really works in omni-channel environment to kind of make it work, right? And of course, like Tejas said, typically the movie is called Hum Aapke Ek Kaun. Here it was Hum Aapke Ek Kaun, right? So that's what the theme for the day was, right? A lot of apps around it, right? Am I supposed to give out the winner now? Oh, okay. All right. Good. No. So like I said, great work from everyone. A big shout out to one. Of course, there has to be a winner, and there has to be one winner. Yeah. But it was really close, and a big shout out to Team Nauticals, right? Yeah. Big shout out to Team Nauticals for come up with a great idea. I think the entire concept of rounding off, the whole dessert recipe, the Madhouse app, etc., was good. But the winner for today for having a complete idea, an idea that can be scalable, that idea that is actually going to kind of give us a distinct advantage in terms of building our omni-channel capability, was 3 Biscuitiers. Yeah, congratulations.
Come up on the stage, team. Many congratulations, team. And with that, we come to a close. I'd like to extend a very huge thanks to our esteemed jury, our core team, the architects, of course, all of our finalists, our YouTube audience who was there with us throughout, and everyone who was involved in making this competition a success, right from the ideation to where we are today. So this is Team Maestros signing off until next time.